Oh, man. Well, let's go live and see if we can get anybody in here Saturday night. I'm just kind of popping in unusually on a Saturday night. I'm usually a Sunday morning guy, and I'll be back on it tomorrow morning too. But thought I would just jump in here on a Saturday night and see if anybody's around. Hey, Joey. Hey, hey, Heavy Wrench. You getting ready for your show in a little bit, aren't you? Yeah, Heavy Wrench has a good show on Saturday night. I thought I would just jump out here and kind of recap my week and everything and get my. Uh, I haven't been on here except on Sunday mornings much. Hadn't uploaded much. Of course, it's hard to get a lot of things going when you're in my condition. You're making coffee, okay? Well, I'll jump off. When are you doing yours, Heavy Wrench? At 8 o'clock. I don't want to interfere with yours either. Oh, you're going to do it at 9? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I thought I would just get over here and kind of recap what was going on this week with me and all that. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing? You got a test drive for your CDL on January 11th. That's okay. That's the way it goes. Yeah. Hey, Renegade, Jim C, Zach. I see Zach in there. Ralph, Joey. Yeah, I'm trying to get out here and just have a good little Saturday afternoon and kind of let me see, let me straighten this out a little bit here and just try to have a little bit of a chat and everything. I've been busy today. My wife made me walk 2 miles today. I walked a mile this morning and a mile this afternoon. So I'm getting some of my walking in. She's trying to get me down my weight. I'm still losing a little bit of weight here and there. Hey, Dirt Boss. I'll tell you what, Dirt Boss, y'all guys, if you want to see some interesting stuff, a great landscaper, a great excavator, watch Dirt Boss show. I mean, his videos are just fantastic. Makes me wish I was as young as Dirt Boss. Uh, I'd love to be able to get out. I love seeing the dozers and everything else. He's got a great show, and explains a lot of things, how he's doing things, and uh, just love his videos. So anybody wants to see some good landscaping? I mean, an experienced landscaper, somebody that knows what they're doing. Check out Dirt Boss Masonry and Excavating. Uh, Thumbs up. He's got some great videos. So if you're not subscribed to him, do so. Yeah, yeah, and he's also a Mike. us Mikes had to stick together. Well, the DOT video, he didn't like it, I guess, because he got burnt on that one. Yeah, that one explained what you don't do, and we all have those issues too. Uh, the one with the yeah, DOT. DOT's bad everywhere on certain things. Sometimes they do crack down. What gets you is you see people with crappy equipment running around all over the place, and then a guy who tries his best to keep good equipment and keeps stuff looking good and everything else. The DOT will crack you in a heartbeat. Yeah, yep, that's right, Heavy Wrench. You need to sub to another one because Mike over at Dirt Boss. I mean, if you like landscaping, and I like seeing people that are know what they're doing, and Mike does a great job over there. I mean, he is experienced. Uh, you can tell that he's meticulous with his equipment. He knows what he's doing with it. I mean, you see some people out there that, I mean, I hate to browbeat on some, but some people barely can get by on equipment, and they just to see the comparison between them and somebody that really knows what they're doing. I mean, I've got a couple of friends down here that are very, very experienced. I mean, a lot of people are just hacks with equipment. They are dangerous they know a little bit enough about equipment to be dangerous, you might say. But to see the experienced person get out there and really do it right is really good. Hey, Yoda Doug, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting my volume back in my voice a little bit, and I'm getting my wind back. Uh, hey, Eric, how are you? Uh, but I'm trying my best to. No, I didn't say it that way, JC. I'm talking about equipment operators hack. JC hacks away at equipment, that's for sure. JC's got that loader now. Gosh, are you going to remember how to put that sucker back together? Is what I want to know, JC. That's something else. No, I mean I admire the people that can do their trade good, and there's some that really do it great. There's some that are just out here for a show, and I kind of filter through the ones that just try to do it as a show. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Yeah, I bet you won't, JC. I mean, that's those industrial motors like that. I hope you can find all the parts. I guess the parts are still all readily available for that, but it'll make you a nice piece, when you get it back and everything. And you know it. I don't know how much you'll end up in with it, but you'll probably, I guess, you'll end by guesstimate a couple $1,000s probably. Yeah, JC's your buddy. JC and Mike both there are great operators and everything and what they do. And Heavy Wrench too. You see him. I like seeing tradespeople that know what they're doing and that can really get in there. I mean, I like that young boy Andrew Camarada up there in New York State. He goes at it. For a young boy, he goes at it, and he's like a younger JC. Oh, are they? Well, that's good. Are you yeah, they uh, that's the only thing that scares me about some of the industrial older equipment. Sometimes you get into some of that, and some of it's been discontinued or whatever. But if it's readily available, that's great. Yeah. Well, hey, Greg, glad to see you jump in here. And Kevin, I think I said hey to Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, are you out on the road this weekend? Yeah, Andrew is he's interesting because he's got a lot of ideas and everything. Oh, okay. Hey, Big Meg, how are you? Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the bad thing about it, all you guys from the northern, I watch Millennial Farmer too, and that's boy, they're getting some snow up there already. I don't know if Mike, if you're getting snow yet. I know you. Good gracious, somebody thinks I'm open at 9 o'clock. I guess. Oh yeah, and that's a telemarketer too. I'm just gonna have to click that off. I could read the ID on it. It's a telemarketer here late at night. Yeah, I think Andrew's entertaining. I think he he gets into everything, and he buys a lot of used equipment and fixes it up for himself, and does pretty good. Doing pretty good. How are you, Chad? Uh, Chad Golden there. I hadn't talked to Chad in a good while. Chad's over here in Charlotte. Bought a lot of trucks from him. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit better and trying to uh, lose some weight. Of course, as y'all can tell, I'm losing a little bit of weight. This shirt used to be a little bit tighter on me. Yeah, you've been busy lately, have you? Oh crap! That's I'm just gonna let that ring. People think I'm open it to like advance and all the rest of them. I'm not open it on Saturday night. Well, that's good. I'm glad I'm sounding better. My voice is coming back a little stronger and everything. Yeah, yeah. That's these telemarketers between all the voter stuff. I've already voted. That nobody needs to ask me who I'm voting for or go out and vote for anybody. I voted a week and a half ago, and I'm glad I did. I'm gonna sit back on November 3rd and 4th and hope and pray that we get a good result. That's all I'm gonna do. No, I'm still needing some drivers in Savannah, Kevin. Uh, I need about 3 drivers down there. Goodness gracious, they're ringing my phone off. I don't know why they're doing that. But hey, Blake, how are you? Guys, I apologize for that phone. No, I don't know if it's Joey or not. I wasn't paying attention. If it was Joey, that wasn't you trying to call from New York, was it? Oh, I if it was, I didn't answer. Hey, NC Trucker, you doing pretty good? Yeah, I'm out here on a Saturday night. I thought I would just do something a little bit different. Uh, hey, Shoestring. Yeah, you're my FedEx brother there, ain't you? Yeah, your family's going to do early. Yeah, North Carolina started early voting. Let me. Hello. No, we're not. I'm answering the phone because it kept ringing. Oh, is this Joey? Gosh. Who wanted who was that now? Oh, okay. Well, I'm hi from New York, Joey. All right, see you. Bye. All right, that was Joey. Joey wanted me to hear his voice there. Yeah, that wasn't Blake. That wasn't Biden calling after me. Biden's still trying to figure out a lot of other things right now, and I don't know. The working man, I hope, will be victorious. That's the way I'm gonna look at it. I hope the people that get out here and do the real work and vote for the working man instead of the people that don't want to work. That's what gets me. I'm just not much for people that don't want to work and want the government to mandate how they do everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't Joe Biden. He's already in bed. He's already in bed by now. That's for sure. But yeah, Trump was in North Carolina today. He was back in North Carolina. He was down at Lumberton, had another huge crowd. I just it baffles me. Polls are just driving me crazy. Of course, I'm not going to pay him any attention. Last time everybody said polls this, polls doing that, and I really think some of this is being manipulated, and it's not very truthful. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Biden's he's still running for Senate. He thinks. Oh, Vice President Pence is in Cincinnati on Friday. Yeah. Well, I think this is a very critical time. I hope we can. Yeah, well, that's for sure. That's for sure, JC. The government is not truthful, uh, and career politicians have made me sick over the years. I mean, my very first presidential race was in Nixon's second term when I turned 21. Election. Hey, yeah, hey, there you are, Chris. Chris, how's a good looking C that you bought there? Yeah. Chris showed his auction highlights today. I think that was a good looking little Farmall C. I've driven a many a mile on Farmall C's and M's and H's. Oh, you're on your 34-hour rest right now. Well, that's good. That's good. They've got us running around the clock. It's about to drive me crazy. That I mean, we're working 7 days a week now, and it's hard to. I think $900 was a real good deal for that. I think you could just about double your money at the right place. Uh, a little engine sounded good on it. I thought it's funny where you took off the first time. I remember as a young boy. I mean, we had some case tractors that had to push clutch, and I remember you had to edge it out just a little bit and you get that wheel started before you gave it full force, or it would jerk you like that. But yeah, I like those old Farmalls and everything. They got a lot of power out of little small engines. That's one thing for sure. I mean, it's all gearing. Well, I'm doing pretty good. How are you traveling, Learn? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a good deal too. JC was talking about it. He looked like a good deal to him too. There was a lot of tractors at that sale, that's for sure. Sounds like you jumped in that one early and kind of caught them off guard. Well, I don't know what's going to happen if they get in, and it's going to be tough. I really feel for the people that can't realize that their taxes are going to go up or just foolish. I mean, we are definitely going to be in a tax situation, and it just I don't know. I'm scared of that. I'm selling some property and a few other things, and it's tough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true, Jeff. Yeah, those little farmhouse did pretty good. Yeah, y'all jump up there and check out Outcast Projects there, and you see Chris's honeymoon auction that he went to. I was kidding him the other day about uh, he got married one day, and I think the next or like a day or 2 days later, he was already back out doing auction work and stuff like that. His honeymoon uh, didn't last very long. Of course, a working man, you don't get a lot of vacations and everything. That's the problem when you're out working for yourself. You kind of cut back on your vacations and all your leisure time. You have to wait till your downtime, I guess, more than your leisure time. Yeah, yeah, work vacation. That's like JC came on vacation down here to see me, I guess, and he let's see, what did he do? He bought a truck from me, a trailer from somebody from South Carolina. We helped him pick that up, brought it back up here. He met with another guy and then went to South Carolina and bought some more equipment and then hightailed back to Ohio. So that's his little vacation to come down here to see me last year. Was a workcation, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Like I said, I've already voted for all these people. I hope everybody can get out and vote early and get your vote counted. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. We all had to. Uh, you know, people that are not in people that are not in business for themselves. It's hard for them to imagine how hard it is for us to that are in business to have what we call a normal vacation. Hey, Mike, how are you? I hadn't seen you in a while. Uh, yeah, when you work for yourself, you you have to kind of gear the important thing. I mean, you can't just say, "Well, I think I'm just going to take off next week and go." I haven't done that in years. I mean, we schedule ourselves to go places and try to do things like that, but it's tough to really get out there and just say, I'm going to take off 2 or 3 weeks. Business just doesn't let you do that. In the 34 years that I've been in the trucking business, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've taken off and actually gone to a location and stayed away uh, for more than 3 or 4 days. Oh man, I mean that's great when you're with a big company like FedEx Freight and you can get 5 weeks. Now that's great shoestring. Yeah, yeah, and when you're in the trucking business, or like the other guys grading business, or you fix trucks and you do different things, you got to be thinking all the time. What's next? What's coming up? What needs my attention? Well, hey, Mr. Jones, glad to see you in here. Yeah, I'm trying to just have a little Saturday afternoon chat. And hey, Day Cab, how are you? Well, I don't know if I'll ever retire totally. I'll probably slow down. Hey, Daniel, glad to see you here too. You know, when you can get into a situation where you can, I mean, if you got a construction type thing and your uh, weather will dictate sometimes when you can take time off. And then, but even then, if when you own construction equipment, you're into a maintenance type situation usually uh, when winter comes and everything. So that's like a lot of the farmers that I deal with here. And my daughter, when she and I were talking about some things, she says, "Yeah, the work from the farmers ought to pick up when all the harvest gets through." Who's going to win the NASCAR Cup? Well, it definitely isn't going to be my buddy Landon's team. They're out right now. If I had to put my money on it, I'd say Harvick. Harvick's looking as good as anybody because, and especially he's good at Phoenix, and that's going to be the last race out there. Is going to will be Phoenix. So if I had to put, of course, now I don't know, has Harvick made it to the Final Four yet? I know that'll be dictated. So we got Texas tomorrow. They got Texas tomorrow, and then Martinsville, and then uh, everything. But I think Harvick, uh, him or Joy. I mean, or the FedEx Denny Hamlin. I think it would be between Hamlin and Harvick. Oh, he's got the pole at Texas. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got one of my cousins, one of my first cousins' boys, works for uh, the Harvick team. He's a fabricator, and yeah, Jamie's been with uh, Stuart Haas for about I want to say about well ever since he used to be at Michael Waltrip's team, and then when they folded, he got hired at Stuart Haas. Uh, well, I think I think that's going to be pretty good. Michael Jordan likes NASCAR. I've been at a couple of races. I was at one of the Charlotte races when Michael was still in college basketball, and he was down there. He was eating it up. Him and um, gosh, slips my mind right now. The boy that's already in the play. Gosh, Darty, Brad Darty. He's been a big time. Brad Darty has been a big time race fan for years. We used to go to the races at Asheville, and Brad used to hang out with the racers up there at Asheville all the time when he was in high school and college. So he's been a big fan of NASCAR and local tracks and everything else. And I think Michael's going to come in there and do the same thing too. And he's got the money to put into it. I mean, he's going to fall into place pretty good. And him and Denny together, I think will, that'll be a pretty good relationship. We'll see. That's all I can say. I mean, they'll put the best foot forward. Bubba will have better equipment, I think, going with that. Hey, Mr. Clark, how are you? Hey, Renegade. Yeah. Well, you got to eat some family supper, have you? Well, Shoestring, you have a good supper there. Yeah, we'll pull for Hamlin next tomorrow. Yeah, Hamlin, I think. Am I right? I think he's already in the final four of it. Well, the Bubba is. I don't know if it was political or if that was how that was on that, Kevin. Bubba's still not the quality driver that some of the others are. I mean, he's still either his learning curves. I mean, he's not at top echelon, but I mean, all of them are good at that level. I mean, everybody ought to experience NASCAR at one time or another. I went down to the Richard Petty driving school about 4 or 5 years ago, and boy, it was an experience. I got to run 7 laps, I think it was, and I got up to 160 miles an hour, and I scared the crap out of myself a couple times. But it will give you a good realization of what these guys are putting themselves through. I mean, and I was at 160, and in Charlotte they do 200. So everybody ought to try that one time. I mean, and if you get a chance, first time you probably ought to do the ride along, and it's not very expensive. But if you get a chance to drive a NASCAR car, I haven't seen that opened up lately. But if you ever get a chance to do that, that is an experience. Yeah, my wife gave that to me for my birthday about 4 or 5 years ago, and she knew I'd always wanted to do that, and she gave that to me 4 or 5 years ago, and I did it, and it was an experience. It was an experience. Well, I never got they had us not to get too close to the wall. They wanted us to keep down there in the lower lane so we wouldn't get up there and hit the wall. Because I didn't want to be buying car parts, that's for sure. Hey, Joshua, how are you? But if anybody ever gets a chance to do that and gets to drive a NASCAR, it's an experience. Now they have them geared down a little bit. I mean, they don't have them so you can do 200, but I'm telling you, 160 is plenty fast. And I found you felt the experience with 160. I did. So I didn't have to go. I didn't have to go 200 to be satisfied. That's for sure. But that you get a good appreciation of what the NASCAR guys can do, and plus I've had the opportunity with my buddy that's gas man with 24. I've been able to I've been in pits and been able to get into real close proximity to what's going on with NASCAR. So I felt fortunate that over the years that I've been able to do that and have some opportunities that other people haven't had. But everybody, if there's a track near you and you can drive on the Richard Petty drive, well, it's Mario Andretti and Richard Petty. Both of them have driving experiences, and if you can do that, do it. I mean, you'll enjoy it if you like racing, and you will get a lot more appreciation of what these guys do because it will blow your mind. It really will. It'll blow your mind at how fast they're going and how close. I mean, I wasn't even that close to other cars after I saw the film of it, but man, I thought I was close. But then if you were to see, if you were to be in a pack of 40, I was in a pack of like 3 or 4 cars out there at the same time. I don't know how I could take a pack of 40 out there or 36 or whatever it is. It would be it would be a rude awakening, that's for sure. But just I'm going to sit up in my chair a little bit. Oh, get readjusted here. Let the camera readjust. You've been up to 165 on a quarter mile. Oh, okay. Yeah, Talladega would be crazy. Uh, if you've ever seen Talladega's track, Talladega's track is an experience in itself. Oh, you live 5 minutes from Gateway. Does Gateway do any of the driving experiences? I don't know how many different tracks do that, but Gateway is a mile and a half track, isn't it? Gateway's a little bit flatter than someplace like Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte is a pretty good track to go to. I mean, it's an old track, and the banking's really steep. You just don't realize how steep the banking is at some of these tracks. I mean, you get down there, and then Daytona and Talladega, I mean, you can't hardly stand up at all at those tracks. Well, yeah. Well, I'm like a lot of them. I've been faster than I should have on a streetcar. I've been up to about 120 and on a streetcar, but I just don't do that. I'm too old to, and I bend and break real easy, so I don't want to get myself into tough situations. Yeah, if anybody ever gets a chance to go to Talladega, Talladega in itself is an experience. Uh, it is one huge track. I mean, it's hard to believe how big it is. And of course, a lot of the drivers say it's actually when you're driving it's probably one of the easier tracks to drive because because of the banking and it really holds you in there. But if you put 40 cars out there doing the same thing, it'd be a whole different thing. Hey, comfortable man. Yeah, I hope everybody's. I kind of just wanted to get out here and talk with everybody on a Saturday night. It's just one of those things. I got caught up. I've had my truck. I might have to take a little bit of drink of water here. My voice is getting a little bit crackly. Oh God, yeah. If you've now Renegade, you live in Florida, don't you? You need to go to Daytona. Go to Daytona and see how steep the banking is. I mean, you literally cannot walk up the banks. I mean, down at Charlotte you can, but it's a struggle. But it's something. Yeah. Now New Hampshire is one of the flatter tracks. New Hampshire is it's actually sort of flat. Yeah. Get your Winnebago and go out there. Hey, Ron, how are you? I'm trying to do well. I'm getting over a lot of things. I'm getting back my wind. That's the or my lung capacity. That's the thing that really gets you after having quadruple bypass. Hey, T. Paul. Oh, you've ridden around with a team in Daytona? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Dale's senior and I are the same age. Well, would be if he was still living. Dale's birthday was in April, and mine's in June. And Dale would have been 69 now if he was still alive. And both of us would have turned. His birthday is, like I said, I think it's April 30. No, not April 30th, 29th or something. And he was born in 51, like I was. Ran into Dale several times over the years too. Dale used to be. I mean, I grew up in the same era, so I'd see him at the local tracks, and of course he's a redneck. I mean, a real rough redneck in the early years. I mean, he wasn't the smooth and polished Dale Earnhardt that so many had seen, and of course I had some other good friends. Benny Parsons, I got to meet and be do some work with Benny Parsons years ago when I had my internet business and graphics business. I actually did some graphic work for Benny Parsons. He was a super nice guy. I like Benny Parsons, and a few of those others that I've got to meet. I've got to David Pearson. I got to meet David Pearson uh, once or twice. Humpy Wheeler, that used to be the promoter at Charlotte. He actually had me to do a article for the World 600. Back then it was called World 600, the World 600 book. I did one on a Bobby. It was about a Bobby Isaac car that was actually built here in my hometown of Cherryville. We used to have a mechanic by the name of Frank Hebner that was on Bobby Isaac's team. So had a few experiences of that, of the old day racing. Yeah, Dale Senior was a good guy. He really elevated the sport. I mean, it has different levels. I mean, if you're old as I am, you can remember the different levels of the sport. I mean, the Flock brothers and everything in the 50s and early 60s, and then it got into Ned Jarrett, and Fireball Roberts was a big to do, and he got killed at Charlotte. He died from the wreck about a month later, and then like I said, Richard Petty, and then Bobby Allison, and all that gang, and then Buddy Baker, and then Buddy's dad. Uh, I used to run into Buck Baker. I ate lunch with him a couple of times down in Charlotte. He used to have a shop right across the road from where I was working at the time, out there near Harrisburg, and super nice guy. I always thought the world of Buck Baker, Buddy's dad, and it's good to been able to meet some of the guys off the track, and not in a pressure situation. Yeah. No, I never met Wendell Scott. I saw him race one time. I saw him down. He was racing, and him and Tiny Lund were in a race I saw together down at Charlotte. But I never got to meet him in the tracks. But he was uh, he did a lot with very little. That's what you can say about Wendell Scott. I mean, he had more hardship, and he was lucky that he was friends with Richard Petty, and Richard Petty helped him out a little bit too. So that worked out good. Yeah, yeah. Wendell Scott was a living. He was a legend, and like I said, for him to be able to do that much with very little equipment, and did it all on his own and very little sponsorship. I mean, you're talking about a man that, I mean, I it's amazing that he was able to race every week, or as many weeks as he did. I mean, they're a testament. People like that are a testament to the racing. But that's before racing got to this multi-million dollar racing shops now. I mean, my nephew is actually in the shop right now. He rents the shop in Kings Mountain that Jim Testa had, and Jim Testa fielded 3 cars back in the early '80s. If you remember Testa Chevrolet, and I mean the old guys, if you can remember that. But Jim Testa. But my nephew actually rents the shop now for his truck garage that Jim Testa had back then in the early '80s, late '70s, early '80s. And I want to think that Testa was still around when they did some of the racing movies. Yeah. Yeah. Now, well, Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet's still in business right up above not too far from here, about probably 20 miles, 20 or 30 miles up there in Newton. That's where Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet is. And he used to draw a crowd out there. He would do a sign, he would do a signing and everything, and sign cars and just do a lot of different things. If you bought one of his cars, and he would, I saw where some people would have him sign on the dash and or even down the side of the car too. Uh, and he did that and drew a huge crowd, usually up there in Newton when the word got out that he was going to do that. Yeah. 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 Wendell Scott, he was, this was of the age, and you have to realize Wendell Scott did. He won a race, but they didn't give him the race win until the next day because of all the publicity. And you got to think about the times. This was in the 60s, and the beauty queen, the drivers always kissed the beauty queen. So NASCAR felt that they couldn't show a black man kissing a white girl in the winner's circle. And that was the primary reason that they wouldn't let him be shown as the winner. They gave him the win the next day. It's sort of like, oh, well, we made a mistake. We're going to give you the win. But yeah, he wasn't able to get the pomp and circumstance. He wasn't able to get the glory. And this is where we've come a long ways under race relations and everything. Although you see the modern people and they want to put us back in the dark ages and say that we're a racist country. We were way more racist in the 50s and early 60s. And black people, black men and women put up with a lot more then than they have to now. And I mean, I know firsthand, I lived it. And I know what a lot of people, is Theresa still in the area? Theresa who? I mean, I don't know the question, Ron. You had to explain which Theresa you're talking about. Oh, you mean Teresa? Wait a minute, Teresa Earnhardt. You mean Teresa, not Theresa, I guess. Yeah, Teresa Earnhardt. Yeah, she still lives over in Denver, from what I gather. I mean, I don't know Teresa Earnhardt personally, so I don't know. But I mean, I've been told that she still lives over in the Denver area. Yeah, I hear that Ford versus Ferrari is a good movie. I need to see that myself. Hey, Arizona cactus flower. You just got home, did you? Okay. Well, I just left home a little while ago. I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna come out here to the Napa store and chat online a little bit. There's a lot of people I hadn't got to see. Sometimes I get different people online at night than I do daytime. So I like chatting with the ones at night too. I couldn't tell you when ducks. I'm not a hunter, so I couldn't tell you. Do I know Mark Robinson in North Carolina? I know some Robinson. I know a Mike Robinson. I don't know a Mark Robinson. Where are they from? What part of North Carolina? I mean, there's some Robinsons. I know Tony Robinson and Mike Robinson that live right here in my hometown. But I don't think I know a Mark. Oh, he's running for lieutenant governor. I don't know. I don't know him. If he had an R beside his name, I voted for him. So I don't know. Uh, but I don't know Mark Robinson personally. I mean, there's a lot of different. Are you familiar with him? Yeah. Well, I have to do that. I'd check him out. But thank goodness for me, I don't have to check out anybody on the voting part because I did my duty about a week and a half ago. I did it the second day they had the polls open. I went up and voted. Uh, Glad I did it too. It was real light. wasn't Didn't have to stand in line. My wife and I walked straight in and went straight to got our voting card and went straight in and voted and was out. I was out in probably 5 minutes. No, I'm not a duck hunter. I'm not a, you know, I'm not really a hunter of any sorts. I've got a pond in my backyard. I see I've got I got some wood ducks and geese, unfortunately. Uh, they go fly in, but I'm not a big hunter. And deer, I got deer. I'll probably, when I go home tonight, I'll probably have 5 or 6 deer run down my road in front of me, and wild turkeys. I mean, we got wild turkeys out here on our property. So I just never have been a hunter. It's just nothing I've ever taken up. My dad wasn't. I know had my dad been a hunter or something like that, and I learned the skill young, I probably would have. But my dad was a farmer, so I know how to farm, and that those sort of things. But I'm not. I never did partake in hunting, so I've got a couple of guns, but primarily to shoot muskrats and raccoons and stray dogs or wild dogs or something like that. But I've never gotten out and hunted ducks or deer or turkey or anything. I like looking at it though. I like seeing it on my property. Yeah, yeah, you can, and I can see where it can be entertaining. I think it's more entertaining than other things. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm not a big venison eater either. Now I've got a couple of friends that hunt on our property, and they all every one of them say, "Oh man, I can make a venison. It tastes delicious and everything." Um, some of them make it into hamburger type setup, but it's still got a gamey taste to it, and I just never have been real keen on a gamey taste. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like it, and I've got a good friend that has a processing place nearby, and he stays busy as everything. Yeah, a lot of people do. I mean, a lot of people like it, and you have to. I wish they would kill more of them. I can tell you that because, like told somebody the other week, I said I kill as many deer as most good hunters do with my trucks. Yeah, I mean my trucks. I just repaired. It cost me $1,800 to repair this last truck. Um, so usually I might take another drink here. Yeah, I've the thing that gets me is the gamey taste or the green grassy taste to it. A lot of people say, "Oh, I can get that out of it," but every time I've eaten venison, I've always had that, and it's like a lot of different things. That's like cooter. A lot of people will get cooters, and I have people that get the cooters out of my pond, and they say, "Oh yeah, we can fix up cooters," and it said tastes just like chicken. Uh, and I'd say, "Well, I'll just eat chicken then." I'm not. I'm just not a big. Uh, just something about it just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, if I got hungry enough, yeah, I would eat it. And if I was trying to supplement, if it got down to where that's what I needed to do to supplement my income or to have a savings, I probably would. Yeah, but I don't eat cooter. I don't eat wild turkey or drink wild turkey, and I don't eat venison. I guess I'm just no farm boy. Then we would kill our calves and everything, and would eat cow. I'd eat steaks. I like steaks, but I haven't had a good steak since I've had my operation. I'm gonna have to get a good lean steak, I guess, one of these first days. Yeah, and it would probably, venison would probably be better for me for my heart too. Yeah, and I don't eat crawdads either. Yeah, I'm a big steak eater. I like steaks. Bring it up, and then get was it Calvin's truck? Yeah, get Calvin's truck should be there, and take it back down to Savannah, and then we'll get that logging device fixed and get that truck back running. All right, I appreciate it. All right, see you. Yep, still. This is that's what happens. I mean, trucks running 24 hours a day. I have to stop and do. I don't know. Are y'all losing signal? All right, I'm still showing a good signal here. Am I still in here? Am I still looking good? I can't see anything dropping over here. I'm back now. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I buffered a little bit, but now I'm back on. I don't know what I guess that's what happens with not Verizon. Who am I with? Not Verizon. Spectrum. I had to think my carrier there. That's Spectrum. Well, guys, I tell you what, I've enjoyed the heck out of talking to everybody tonight. But I'm at the point my voice is getting a little bit ragged, so I'm gonna sign off, and I'm gonna be back on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So catch me here at 9 o'clock if you're an early bird, because I'll be right here probably in the same location early in the morning. So catch me then if you get a chance. And right now I'm gonna sign off and call it a night and everything. Y'all take care. See you later.